Arvid, the way you gotta look at the fourth dimension is like a jelly donut or something, except you got the jelly on the outside, you got the outside on the inside.
Well, yeah, why'd you stop?
There's Lori. Better hurry, you'll miss your 8:30 rejection.
Not this time, Dennis. I've come to a major decision. It is time for me to set her free. Wait, I know what you're thinking. I've tried to break up with her before, but this time is going to be different. This time, I'm telling her.
Here's your chance.
Lori.
Hi, Arvid. How are you?
Well, you saw that. She's worried about my health. How can I dump her now? It would break her heart.
Every time it's the same thing.
You gotta let him down easy. No.
Okay. Morning, everybody. Morning. Okay, today we... Yes?
Marshall Tito. Why don't you just write down the answers for the whole year and go home?
It's a nice try, Janice, but I won't actually be talking about Marshall Tito for at least 5 minutes. I have here an essay by a Fillmore student, and I'd like to read part of it to you. The reluctant use of power is a myth. Nations pretend to believe in the priority of peace over power, yet continue to use force readily and profitably. By pretending that our aggressive instincts don't exist, we are enabling those very instincts to overpower us.
Wow, that's really good.
Oh, yeah, very nice.
Good. It's great. All right, who wrote it? I bet it was Darlene.
Yeah.
Nice
No,
piece.
I think it was Simone.
Could have been.
I guess me.
You guess?
Well, I don't remember writing it, but it was so good, I just assumed it was me.
Actually, it was written by a student 60 years ago.
And you're just getting around to grading it?
Grading, no. Reading, yes. I found it in the Fillmore Quarterly in the school library. It's a journal of prose, poetry, and art that was published by the student body in the 20s.
Gee, we don't have anything like that now. I'd love it if we...
Simone, don't even think it.
I think that it would be great to do something like this.
Too late. He's off on another enriching experience.
Mr. Moore, you know, we really appreciate you broadening our horizons and everything. I mean, you got us to go to dances, and then you got us to play volleyball, and then you got us to, like, make a music video and everything. And really, you've done enough. Leave us alone.
Okay, I understand. You don't have to participate. Besides, most of you aren't really writers. You probably couldn't cut it. God knows you don't need the extra credits.
Just a minute. Who says we can't cut it? We can all write.
Yeah, that's true. I don't want to be known merely as a future Nobel Prize-winning scientist.
So, you do want to try this journal?
Sure we do. Besides, this kind of extracurricular activity looks good on your record.
I don't think we should look at it that way. I mean, we should think of it as an opportunity to be creative and express our feelings in a way that will enrich the lives of others.
Well, Simone, that is beautiful. Can I write that down?
Sure, Dennis.
This is just the kind of swill admissions officers drool over.
Well, I love it. A journal of prose, poetry, and art with work from the whole school put together by the IHP.
You're going to put Dennis Blunden in charge. It'll be a sleaze rag full of dirty cartoons with satirical comments about bodily functions.
Your personal preferences aside, Dr. Samuels, I think you and I are both talking about cultivating a literary journal that would display the many flowers blossoming in the Fillmore garden, fertilized by your leadership. We'll all be very proud, Dr. Samuels. And as for an editor, I was thinking of someone experienced, decisive, and dying to do it.
Who, me? I couldn't.
Why not?
Well, I mean, it's such a big responsibility. Collecting the materials and deciding on the layout, judging everyone's work. I'm sure someone else could do it better.
No, Simone, you'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, you're a poet. It's a natural.
The most important thing is that no one could do it better than you.
The most important thing is no one wants to.
Simone, we all think that you do a fantastic job.
You all really think I'm the one to do this?
Yeah, no, you're the one.
Thank you. I accept.
Congratulations, Editor Foster.
This is going to be great. Wait till my parents find out I'm going to be a published author. Put them down for 10 copies.
Sure.
You know, I'd like to try a poem.
Me too.
An essay?
Fine.
Satire.
Great.
Eric, what are you going to submit?
Mr. Moore, give me a break. There's already enough stuff about teenage angst and alienation without me adding to the crime.
Well, no one said you had to write about that. I mean, write what you know.
Look, I'm just not interested, okay? So please, save your breath. I mean, there's nothing anyone can say to convince me to write for that journal.
Eric?
A couple of lines. But that's all.
Okay, great. That's everybody. So,
Everybody, huh?
Mr. Moore, you want to submit something?
Well, you're the editor. It's up to you.
Great.
Okay, by next Monday, if I could have all your pieces in. Oh, I'm sorry, a week from next Monday. That would give you more time. Let's say Wednesday, is that okay? Oh, but then...
You want to make up your mind before my eraser explodes?
Simone, maybe you should have a co-editor, you know?
Yeah.
Somebody decisive.
Well, she can do it. Let her give her a chance.
No, Monday really was the best day. Don't you think?
Eric, this is outrageous. You grew up poor. Your brother died. You never had a brother? This is sadder than Bambi.
It's fiction, Twinkie brain. I just wrote it in the first person to make it more poignant.
A literary hoax. I love it.
Come on, nobody's supposed to believe this. This is just a style, that's all. Nobody's supposed to take this for the truth.
Eric, your memoir, it touched me.
Simone,
And I'm so ashamed of the way I've treated you all along. I didn't understand your pain.
my pain is fine, really.
No, don't say any more. Just know that I'm here for you.
Simone.
Don't do it.
Good morning, everyone.
Mr. Moore, before class starts, can I?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Thanks. I want to thank you all for turning in your work so promptly. I've made a few little suggestions on them. You probably can't read my writing. So if you have any questions after class, we can go over them.
Simone, can I talk to you for a minute?
After class, okay, Eric? All right. April 12, 1945. FDR dies, and the 33rd President of the United States is... They wrote a book about him called Give Him Hell, Harry. Married to Bess Truman. What's going on?
She called me superficial and vague.
Pointed in too many directions at once, yet went nowhere?
More depth? I wrote a poem about Euclidean geometry. There is no depth.
I'm dogmatic, condescending, and pretentious?
Okay, so she got one right.
I'm just trying to avoid a lot of clumsy amateurish writing.
Simone,
Wait a
you did
minute.
the very best.
So now we're clumsy amateurs.
That isn't what I meant.
What did she say about yours, Mr. Moore?
Oh, well, mine was just a rough draft, really.
So what did get in?
I think you're all depending too much on your vocabularies and not enough on your own experiences. Now, this is a part from Eric's piece. It's from his own life, and I'd like to read it.
Simone, you don't want to read that.
No, Eric, you're vulnerable. Admit it. Share it.
Use it.
Yeah, I would like to hear this, Eric.
It's called Early Sorrow. What I remember from the day my younger brother died is the hot, sour smell of Mrs. Fiorenza's cabbage rolls drifting up through the tenement floor. My mother had wrapped herself in a thin sweater, slowly counted out 75 cents in change, and got on a bus to the morgue. I watched her helplessly from the broken window. Even today, as I stare out the same window, I feel the sorrow of a lost child and an infant mourned in a home I never knew.
Wow.
That is unbelievable.
Sorry, Eric.
Do you see how brave Eric was to strip his soul bare and show us his pain? You have to write what you feel passionately about, and if you don't care enough to write something from your heart, I don't care to publish it.
Who made you Our Lady of Literature?
You did.
Will we take it back?
She's right. I mean, she is the editor. And so, Simone, we'll all just have another try.
Simone, about my story.
Oh, I'm sorry it's wrinkled, but I slept with it under my pillow last night. What'd you want to say?
Just that, I'm glad you liked it.
But by that time, the U.S. had committed to the defense of South Korea. So we'll continue tomorrow. And I want to remind you, your term papers are due in 1 week.
Oh, Mr. Moore, I haven't even started mine. I mean, I really got into writing this piece for the journal. It was kind of hard to open up at first, but I'm really glad I did it.
Me too. I mean, Saturday night I was working on my new poem when I could have been at the Math Club's Logarithm and Blues Festival.
Here are your rewrites. If you have any questions, we can go over them later. Right now, I've got a meeting with a printer.
Printer, that sounds hopeful. Maybe we finally made the grade. Good idea, but needs more feeling. Feel this.
Too influenced by Emily Dickinson. Develop your own style. A girl who still dresses like Annie Hall is telling me about style.
How much of this do we have to take?
She called it brilliant but juvenile. That's what I am.
I liked my poem, and so did my mommy.
Mr. Moore, you just have to say something to her. You picked her.
Yeah, Mr. Moore, you gotta admit, she's getting out of hand.
Yes.
Simone is just doing her job.
She sure is. Listen to this. Mr. Moore, a good second try, but still verbose. Perhaps you...
Thank you. I'll talk to her if that's what you all want. This dedication, working after school.
I'm so glad you convinced me to take this job. This is going to be a worthy successor to the original.
How many pieces have you chosen?
3.
Think they'll all fit?
I want quality, not quantity. I have Eric's piece, an essay on street performers, and Mr. Dorfman's haiku.
Mr. Dorfman writes haiku? Can I see that?
In 17 syllables, he captured the essence of sharpening a pencil.
Dull graphite sheathed in wood. The handle turns, gears grind. Now I see your point. I mean, I'm very happy for Mr. Dorfman, but don't you think you're being a little hard on the rest of us? The class, I mean.
I take the art of writing very seriously, don't you?
Of course.
You're not telling me to give up what I believe is right just to please other people, are you?
Absolutely not.
And I know you're not the kind who would get defensive just because I criticized your work a little. I'm so glad we agree. It's really good to know I have someone on my side.
Good. I just wanted to make sure we were in sync before we start our rewrites. So, good. I'll leave now.
Really, Simone, I don't need anything. The thing is...
Yes, you do. He needs the comfort and love of a family, right?
Yes.
Why don't you come to my house for a nice home-cooked meal?
You could go this weekend.
Good idea.
I don't know. Families aren't exactly my thing.
Yeah, but in this case, you'll make an exception.
If you wanted to be alone, you could just go off and be by yourself.
Or you'd go with me?
If you liked.
I would definitely like that.
Well, great! Then it's all set. You guys will get together Saturday, say 8-ish.
am a slime ball.
Yes, but a lucky slime ball. I can't take this. I gotta tell her the truth tomorrow.
Don't do that. Look, if I get her to like me this way, I won't be able to live with myself.
You won't have to. She'll ask you to move in with her.
Did you talk to Simone?
Well, yes,
Oh, great. After one of your soul-searching talks, I bet she feels like dog food. No offense.
I feel bad, but at least we're all in, right?
Well, you know, that's the thing about writing. It's just so subjective.
Are we in or not?
Someone once said writing is rewriting.
It was probably Simone.
Now, Eric's piece was very strong. Well, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just leaving you something to think about.
What I'm trying to think about is how her nose would look in a sling.
That is so petty. Let me help. Let me tell you what Eric did.
Oh, Charlie, have you seen Dr. Samuels?
No.
Try not to.
Mr. Moore? Mr. Moore, I knew there was a catch to this journal thing. I've sent out notices to the parents. I've told the school board. I've informed and alerted the media. But there's only one little problem. There's nothing in it. An essay on panhandlers, a dumb little poem on pencil sharpeners, and a sob story from Eric.
Dr. Samuels, even as we speak, there is more material coming in. Now, it'll be fine. You'll see.
So the emptiness of a family without love can never be filled. Can a tax-free bond replace the bond between father and son? The interest on a jumbo CD is no substitute for a mother's interest, even if compounded daily.
We're into this thing for $3,000, and I told the mayor we're dedicating it to him.
I remember the day our family fortune vanished. The rain fell like tears and washed the shine from my new fuchsia patent leather pumps. I walked aimlessly down the street, hiding my face from the people who just the day before questioned so kindly, "Do you want that in a bag or on a hanger?"
What I remember from the day Gandhi died was the hot, sour smell of Mrs. Ramanujan's chicken vindaloo.
Okay, that's enough. I see what you're doing, and it's not funny, and I'm sure Eric doesn't appreciate it either. You know, he's the only one who had the courage to examine his life with some honesty. And you make fun of it? What's going on?
Simone, my story wasn't exactly all true.
What do you mean exactly? What part was true?
A lot of it.
What part wasn't true?
I never had a brother. I made it all up.
You used writing to try to get me to Eric.
Simone,
That
you
is
don't
so...
understand.
Yes, I do. You all tried to make a fool of me. Well, I guess it was fun. Laughing at poor little Simone trying to be in charge. Fine.
If there is no journal, you know the old saying about what I'll do in Macy's window?
That's it. There isn't going to be any journal.
I'll see you in Macy's window.
It's not just Eric's making a fool of me. The whole class got together to humiliate me. It really hurts.
Well, I know it does. Maybe, just possibly, you brought it on yourself. Just a little.
I was only doing my job. Like all the great editors, Maxwell Perkins was very rigorous with Hemingway.
But that was Ernest Hemingway. I mean, the man fought bulls. Well, you're dealing with Arvid Ingen, a boy who's afraid of leather.
Is it wrong to have high standards?
You remember when the class played volleyball?
You can call that volleyball.
Right, and you especially did not know how to play volleyball.
I was doing my best.
Oh. See, you set your standards so high that nobody can reach them, including me. And these are high school kids who enjoy being writers for a while. And this journal is probably the only chance they'll ever get of being published. See, they're trying their hands at being writers, just like you're trying to be an editor.
I'm not doing so well.
Well, it takes a lot of practice shots to get one over the net.
I think I could learn to be a good editor if you'll give me another chance, but if you want me to resign, I'll understand.
Simone, I'm willing to give you another try if you'll give me another try.
And if you want to burn that piece I wrote, I'll write you a new one.
No, I'll print it just the way it is.
Now that you know it's not true, don't you hate it?
I wouldn't have liked it any less if I had known it were pure fiction. Of course, I wouldn't have kissed you either.
Yeah, well, if you would have done that to me, I would have kissed you anyway.
Well, I guess we got through this, and the journal is going to be fine. And I, for one, Simone, am ready to jump right in and do my final rewrite. When do you want it?
Tuesday'd be fine. Tuesday. I said Tuesday. Okay. Okay. Tuesday. Unless Wednesday'd be better. Oh, Mr. Moore, about your essay.
Listen, Simone, 4 rewrites is my limit, okay?
No, it's beautiful. It's perfect.
As I was saying, 4 rewrites is really all I need.
I loved it. It's really good. It's going in.
Thank you.
Could use something to balance that Dorfman haiku.
Pencils don't educate people. Writers do. Dorfman, eat your heart out.
Right here. Here's where the judge rules against Arvid's answer.
That is incorrect.
Here's where I very politely question the judge's ruling.
This, Samuels, please sit down and
Here's where I question the judge's parentage. At this point, I make an emphatic gesture. She asked me to leave, so I left. I don't see what the fuss is all about.
Right, you didn't actually hit her with the chair.
One more loss and we're out of the playoffs. So what do you say, Mr. Moore?
About what?
If I'm suspended, taking over the team.
Oh, I'd rather not.
Mr. Moore, I'm desperate. Just think about it.
Class.
Morning, everybody. How was your weekend?
Sure. Rub it in.
Mr. Moore, we lost another meet on Friday by 12 points.
So I heard.
And Dr. Samuels got busted.
On the other hand, those of us not on the team had a terrific couple of days.
Mr. Moore, I just got the call. Team, I have an announcement. The Academic Competition Committee has suspended me. I'm not allowed to coach. I'm not allowed to supervise practices. I'm not even allowed to be in the room where the matches are being held. But we're not quite dead. Filling in for me as coach will be one of Fillmore's finest teachers, Mr. Charlie Moore.
You don't want me. I'm not interested in killer competition. You want somebody like yourself, you know, a real tiger, a driver, Bobby Knight.
I know what I want. You're what I got.
Forget Dr. Samuels. It's no use. It's like getting a A new jockey for a dead horse.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who coaches us, we're gonna lose anyway.
Yeah, it's just useless. What's the point of it?
Okay, I'll do it.
Well, Mr. Moore, they're all yours.
Thank you, Dr. Samuels.
Take care of my team.
I'll try, Dr. Samuels.
I started the team, you know.
Yes, we know.
God, I'm gonna miss you kids.
Okay. You've been on a losing streak. That happens. I'm sure if we all concentrate, you might just win this Friday, okay? But now, the Roosevelt years. Darlene?
This isn't just any old meet, Mr. Moore. Friday, we're going up against Bronx Science.
Oh no, Bronx Science, Nightmare on Nerd Street.
Eric, if you can't be supportive.
Yeah. Take one of those zippers off your jacket and stick it on your mouth.
Okay. I want to know what's so special about Bronx Science.
They're just undefeated, that's all. They don't know the meaning of the word lose.
Well, a team with that limited a vocabulary shouldn't be that difficult to defeat.
Mr. Moore, they have Billy Chin.
I remember Billy Chin.
And they have the Ozawa sisters and Darwin Einstein. Yeah.
Also bright, I presume.
Bright. It's like getting run over by a truckload of encyclopedias.
Now, I think you can win this Friday.
Well, how?
Franklin Delano Roosevelt. You know, one of his most famous quotes became a rallying cry for this country. We have nothing to fear but fear itself.
Kid stuff, Mr. Moore. March 4th, 1933, his inaugural address.
That's very good, Alan. Can you tell me from whom he borrowed the phrase? It's from the journals of Henry David Thoreau, who said, "Nothing is so much to be feared as fear." Roosevelt knew that this nation's people were sound. When a situation is really serious, one thing that can defeat us is panic.
So it's all a matter of confidence, right?
Right.
I get it. You're telling me we can beat Bronx Science. Now, if I tell Sarah we can beat Bronx Science, and Sarah tells Alan we can beat Bronx Science, and Alan tells Janice we can beat Bronx Science, well, then we just might beat Bronx Science.
There's only one small detail.
What?
Who's gonna tell Bronx Science?
Thanks.
Oh, Charlie, hi.
Morning.
How's the coaching?
Well, I spent most of yesterday's practice session trying to build the team's confidence.
Well, don't you see, Charlie? It's not fair. I mean, Dr. Samuels got himself disqualified, but you're going to be the one to take the blame when the team misses the playoffs for the first time in history.
Bernadette, nobody's lost yet.
Charlie, it's Bronx Science. Billy Chin, the Ozawa sisters, Darwin Einstein. I mean, sure, you know history and you know some English, but how can you help them with calculus and astrophysics and microbiology? You're outgunned.
Shucks, I know that, ma'am, but I got me a secret weapon.
Okay, Mr. Moore, let me get this straight. This idea of yours is to have 6 coaches instead of 1.
Exactly.
Good. If the meet goes according to form, they can all be pallbearers. I know, but out. I'm out.
Look, you're the best. I think you deserve the best. Now, we have so much to do in so little time that I think the rest of the faculty can help us just brush up on our basics, get us up to running speed.
Right. It's just like football. Backfield coach, line coach, batting coach.
Don't let him answer any sports questions.
Okay, it's me for history, Mr. Dorfman for economics, Miss Colby, math, Mr. Schneider, English, Miss Hodges for the arts, and Miss Swasinski for science.
You think they'll do it?
Part-time. I mean, I've spoken to all of them. They want to help you. They're behind you 100% on this. And I've asked them to meet me here at 3 o'clock this afternoon. I think it's going to be togetherness and teamwork, camaraderie.
Desperation.
Oh, Charlie, This was in your box, and Miss Hodges just called. She can't help you out after all. She's got a Lamaze class every night this week.
She's not pregnant. She's not even married.
I mentioned that. She said, why wait till the last minute?
Seems Miss Swasinski can't make it either.
No science?
Oh, her cat is sick. Probably an impacted fur ball.
You're alone, Charlie. Not one teacher's gonna lift a finger to help you.
Well, 4 out of 6 is not bad. If the birth goes well or the cat's feeling better, I'll be in my room.
Mr. Moore? I'm Stephanie Schneider. My daddy's Mr. Schneider, the English teacher. Daddy can't come to your meeting. He has to drive me to ballet class.
It's okay.
Usually Mom drives me, but she broke her glasses.
Oh, well, it's okay.
Actually, Dad broke her glasses.
It's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. Mr. Dorfman.
I'm sorry, Charlie, but I can't stay. My wife is sick. We think it's measles.
You think?
Well, if it's not measles, it's something. Maybe it's chickenpox. I'm not a doctor. The point is, she's really sick, and I can't help you.
Well, I suppose I can handle history and economics. Hope your wife is better.
I can't lie, Charlie. My wife is fine.
Really?
Oh, smarten up, Charlie. Dr. Samuels loves that team. He's warped on the subject. Anybody remotely associated with them missing the playoffs is going to be on his hit list for a long, long time.
I was counting on you.
I know. I'm sorry, Charlie. I have a nice class schedule now. Normal students. One false move, and I'm back teaching economics to terrorists.
I just thought if we all pitched in.
No. This is Bronx science, Charlie. Billy Chin and the Ozawa sisters. The Einstein kid. Your history.
Apparently, I'm also economics.
You're also math. Mrs. Colby can't come either.
Mr. Moore, nice to see you again.
Yeah, same here, Billy.
Oh, these are the Ozawa sisters, Pat and Sally.
Hi.
And Darwin Einstein.
Hi.
Hi. So, I hear Dr. Samuels got busted and you're coaching the team?
Good news travels fast.
Gee, that's tough. What a time to come up against us. We're on a major roll, as you know.
Well, so I've heard.
But you never know, Mr. Moore. You're a great guy. You could always pull off a miracle.
We'll certainly try.
Good luck.
Okay, good luck to all of you. Well, okay, everybody ready for Bronx science? Little tension, huh?
Tension? All night long, I dreamt there was a time bomb ticking in my room somewhere. It was just ticking and ticking, louder and louder. I mean, if I didn't find it and submerge it in water, I'd be blown to bits. When I woke up, I was lying on the bathroom floor and my alarm clock was in the toilet.
Look, don't panic, but I think we're all experiencing a little pre-meet fear.
How do we get rid of it?
Well, there's nothing scarier than an opening night, but there are exercises we could do to take the edge off stage fright.
Mr. Moore, we're talking about Bronx science, not Hello Dolly.
Come on, listen, it's gonna be fun. Now, all you have to do is make the dopiest, silliest face you can think of.
Oh, well, that's not fair, Mr. Moore. Arvid has a head start.
Why don't you show me your version of Arvid's face? You're a great mimic. Now, come on. Show me his body, too. Just be Arvid for a minute. Give me his face. Okay, and tell me who wrote Rhapsody in Blue.
George Gershwin.
Okay, give me a pose. Give me a face. Give me I think I know who you are, but tell me. No, come on. From whom was the Virgin Islands purchased?
Denmark, 1917.
Okay, Jawaharlal, you and Maria, come on. Hit a pose, together. Now, let me see those faces and tell me the first peacetime president from the United States to visit Soviet Russia.
Richard Nixon.
Uh-huh, and when was that?
1972. Ooh.
What a year. Okay, Arvid, take her place. Okay, when you hold it, okay. Kasai.
River in Zaire. Ooh.
Okay, Simone?
Simone.
Show me a face, show me a body. Okay, tell me the name of Pulitzer's first newspaper.
St. Louis Dispatch.
Okay, Janice, you and Al. Come on, quick. Do a pose, that's right. Show me some faces and tell me the first capital of New York State.
Manhattan.
Uh-huh. When did it move?
Moved to Albany in 1797.
Yes, it did. Okay, Sarah, come on, quick. Give me a face. Boy, with a face like this, I want to know who won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1954.
Earth.
Who? Hey, you pose with her. Strike a pose with her. And give me a face. Faces. Okay, everybody, join them. Make one big strange face. Come on. Let me see those faces now. Are you guys winners or losers? Show me the faces!
A wall of nerds. No, Mr. Moore, I understand. If you can't beat them, scare them.
No, that was great. Just relax. Take a break. I think we're on to something here. I'll be back in a minute, okay? Hold on. Eric. Look, you're a bright kid. You're a good kid. I like you. Are you working for Bronx Science?
I'm sorry, Mr. Moore. They just looked really silly.
Well, that's the point, Eric. I mean, they're being silly, you know? They're just relaxing, loosening up. Obviously, this meet doesn't mean very much to you. And at the moment, I'm not sure what it means to me. But they are your friends, aren't they?
Some of them. Okay, all of them. Maybe I've been a little rough on them lately.
A little rough?
Look, I don't know why I do it. No, you know what? I do know why I do it. 'Cause I'm mad at them. I mean, they were great, but lately they lose a few and they just roll over and play dead. They're a bunch of crybabies. I just think they're better than that.
Why don't you try telling them that instead of undermining them? See, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem.
I'm not on their team.
Well, at least you could be on their side.
Mr. Moore?
Eric, please, the last thing that we need at this moment is your mouth.
Yeah. Hey, look. I'm sorry, okay?
You're sorry. Sorry you didn't get in a couple of more zingers before we march out there to our doom.
See, you hear that? Doom. That's why I'm bugged. I mean, that's why I zing you guys a lot lately. You deserve it.
Oh,
That's right. Look, I've been watching you and your academic team for a long time now. I think I know you pretty well. But I never seen you turn to dog food like this before. And I'll tell you why. There's only one reason you lost 4 in a row. You lost 4 in a row because you forgot who you are. I mean, don't you get it? You're the best. You think Bronx Science is this killer team. Well, you're wrong. You're the killer team. And you got no business losing to anybody. Not even Bronx Science. Okay? So look, just do what Mr. Moore said. Fear nothing but fear.
Mr. Moore didn't say that. Roosevelt did.
Shut up, Janice. Face it. You may be nerds, but you're the best nerds in New York City. And I'm proud to call you my friends.
Hey, thanks, Eric.
Thanks, Sarah.
Now look, if you're the kind of friends that I think you are, you're gonna go out there and you're gonna kick some Bronx butt.
My Peter!
No, it's not allowed.
I don't care anymore. It's too important. I've got to talk to them. I got to bring them up for this. They won't be ready.
Dr. Samuels, you never know. I never know.
Mr. Moore, if this continues, I am fully prepared to disqualify your team.
What continues?
That.
I'll get it.
A warning, Mr. Moore. Any fancy footwork, and you'll be out there with Dr. Demento. Are the teams ready? Question number 1. Literature. From the expression, hoisted on his own petard, what is a petard? Fillmore.
A petard is a small bell-shaped bomb used in medieval times to breach a wall or city gate.
Correct.
Also a firecracker.
Also correct.
It's from the French.
Question number 2, science. What is polymerization? Fillmore.
Polymerization is the joining of two or more of the same molecules to form one larger molecule.
Correct. Fillmore.
What's going on? Talk to me, Dorfman.
We're on a roll. Our kids are ahead 12-3.
Maybe I lucked out. Maybe Moore can pull this off.
The molten material which exists below the solid rock of the Earth's crust.
Correct.
12-4.
So they lose one or two. Moore can handle it.
The economic consequences of the peace.
Correct.
12-5.
They're folding. Him and his relaxation exercises.
The Boer War was fought between the British and South African settlers of French, German, and Huguenot descent.
Correct.
Ferdinand de Lesseps.
Stone Age and the Iron Age.
Calder.
Neville Chamberlain.
The dew point.
The melting point of tungsten carbide is 2,870 degrees centigrade.
A tropical leguminous tree, native to Madagascar, and its correct Latin name is Delaunix regia.
Correct.
We're ahead by 8. There's only 8 questions left. They have to get them all right just to tie. No way, Jose.
The score is now tied. We will now go to sudden death. The first correct answer wins the meet. I will ask a 2-part question. Do not buzz in until I finish. One of the most famous quotes of President Franklin D. Roosevelt was, "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself." When did he say this? I warned you it was a 2-part question. And who originated the phrase? The question goes to the Bronx High School of Science.
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself was part of President Roosevelt's inaugural speech on March 4th, 1933. And
who originated the phrase? Bronx Science?
Eleanor Roosevelt?
I'm sorry, Mr. Chin, that is incorrect. Fillmore?
A version of the quote appears in Thoreau's journals, as nothing is so much to be feared as fear. And we win!
I appreciate the sentiment, although Mr. Moore does deserve some of the credit.
Well, I guess I should turn the team back over to you, Coach. I mean, after all, you made them what they are today. All I did was teach them how to relax, right?
Yeah.
It's a good pace.
Congratulations.
Oh, same to you.
Somebody had to talk to them in a language they can understand.
Yeah.
So, thanks for the language.
Well, you took the words right out of my mouth. John L. Lewis, Walter Reuther, Jimmy Hoffa.
And the question is, name 2 labor leaders in an underwater statue.
Thank you, great Swami, but there's a little more to it than that. You see, before men like this organized labor unions, people could be asked to work incredible hours under dangerous conditions for practically no pay.
Oh, sure, Mr. Moore, take the workers' side.
Alan, labor unions can offer some benefits. Okay, say that there's an aspect of my job that prevents me from doing my work. An example of this might be...
Mr. Moore, this is really important. I have an invitation for one of my lucky IHP students to appear on television.
Wonderful.
And the important part is the name of the show, Open Forum.
Open Forum? That's Lawrence P. Whitley's show. I love him.
Who doesn't? Intellectual, novelist, mountain climber, the king of conservatism.
Well, not only that, he's verbose, he's repetitive and redundant. He says the same things over and over again and again and again. He keeps repeating himself on and on and on.
Thanks anyway, Dr. Samuels, but if you don't mind, I'll wait for David Letterman to call.
I don't think you'll have to worry, Dennis.
You're right. There's only one person in this class who belongs on Open Forum with that right-wing crypto-fascist plutocratic sleazebag.
Alan. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I humbly accept the invitation.
But there is one little technicality. The Open Forum people have requested essays from each of you stating why you would like to appear on the show.
But I thought that I was...
Alan, this is a democracy. Everyone gets a chance. Of course, when Whitley reads your essay, he'll think he's grown another right wing. Go, team!
Anybody else who wants one of these applications, come get it. So nobody else is going to apply.
You heard Dr. Samuels. It's a pointless exercise.
Yes, Alan's got it all sewn up.
I'm pleased. At least your greed didn't drive you to try to get the $400. Good morning.
Good morning, Charlie.
Want to try that again with a little more conviction?
I'm sorry. I'm a little worn out from going to classes every night.
Well, think of the professional advantages of having a doctorate in teenage psychology. I mean, I envy you. You'll be Dr. Mira. That'll drive Dr. Samuels crazy.
Well, he'll probably change his title to Emperor.
Well, has the mail come yet?
I'm just sorting it now.
Well, don't sort. Look!
Well. Open Forum, Lawrence P. Whitley.
Well, don't just stand there for the thing open.
Well, better go to class. Well, I tell you what, why don't we share it with the class? Share it. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, sir. How are you? Good morning. How are you? You all know Dr. Samuels, of course.
Will you get to it?
Oh, yeah. I tell you what, Dr. Samuels, be my guest. This is a letter he's very curious about. I'm going to let him open it.
Class, I hold in my hand the envelope with the name of the student who will appear on Open Forum. Whoever he or he may be, and the winner is...
Dennis?
What do you want? They picked Blunden.
Tell me it's a mistake, please.
Huh. Selected to appear, Dennis Blunden. First alternate, Alan Pinkard.
Oh, hey, they're right. After Dennis, Alan is the funniest.
Congratulations, Dennis.
Thank you. Whitley picked Dennis? That joker? That buffoon?
I prefer to think of myself as a comedic engineer.
I'll check on this.
Well, I think we should congratulate our winner and our alternate.
Alternate? That means nothing. It's like vice president.
Right. Alan, you can't win them all.
And Mr. Moore, this is insane. I worked 10 hours on my application. I defended Reaganomics, nuclear arms, and I even came out in favor of acid rain. Now, Dennis, what could you have possibly written to top that?
Yeah, Dennis, I'd be curious to hear this too.
Sure. Well, let's all hear it. Do you mind reading it aloud, Dennis?
Sure. And not a big deal. Dear Mr. Whitley, if warmth and human compassion were string, you wouldn't have enough to tie your shoes. Your every appearance is living proof that the phrase conservative thinker is an oxymoron. I find more political interest in one episode of the new Leave It to Beaver. And I wouldn't be on your stupid show for 1,500 double cheeseburger Whoppers. Respectlessly yours, Dennis Blunden. Right?
That's got him on the show? This is crazy.
No, it's obvious. Alan, Whitley's show is about confrontation. I mean, you agreed with everything that the man has ever said. Naturally, he wants Dennis on the show.
No, we cannot let Dennis represent the IHP on television.
Hey, Senator, listen up. I wasn't pulling Whitley's chain. I don't want to be on this stupid show.
Oh, that's a relief.
A relief? What is that supposed to mean?
Well, you know you are, Dennis. I mean, I don't want to sound like negative or anything, but you're a jerk.
Yeah, Dennis, you try to be funny and you'd end up embarrassing the entire IHP.
That's true. You'd probably show up in a chicken suit.
Or have Chinese food delivered right on the show.
Or remember, like the time you accepted the Junior Astronomy Award in a Darth Vader mask.
Well, maybe the show does need a little lightening up.
Mr. Moore, we are not talking about lightening up. We're talking about humiliation. Dennis can't be serious. All we'd be getting is a loose cannon that would sink the reputation of this class.
Oh, wait a minute, Alan.
No, that's okay, Mr. Moore. They're right. They're right. I'm crazy. I've been given a golden opportunity to pull some classic stunts on Whitley, and I was thinking of not going.
Look, Dennis,
No,
you can't...
thank you. Thank all of you. The Chosen One will appear on TV.
Mr. Moore!
Mr. Moore, here is a deeply troubled young man who desperately needs some help from you.
Well, that's what teachers are for.
Tell him.
Mr. Moore, why is it that bad things happen to good people? Or in Dennis's case, why do good things happen to despicable people?
We've got to keep Dennis from appearing on the show. Now, you go talk to him, you hear me? Misfit the misfit.
Look, they picked Dennis. For whatever reason, they liked his application. They chose him. Now, I happen to think that a battle of wits between Dennis and Whitley could be interesting.
It's not going to be a battle of wits. It's going to be a wit against a half-wit, and I'll tell you exactly how he's going to do it. He'll start off by telling a joke.
Poindexter says the answer is 2 of us. One of us to screw in the light bulb, and the other one to deny it.
I am at a loss, sir, to ascertain the purpose of this facetiousness.
Well, so am I. But then who cares? It's not like anybody actually watches your show anyway, huh? Excuse me, won't you? No, there was supposed to be mustard here. I ordered mustard. Am I right? Did I order mustard? Huh?
What is the reason for this behavior, sir?
Boredom, Larry. Sheer boredom. I think that's the reason. You know, at least Oprah Winfrey deals with real issues. Hi, I'm Oprah Winfrey. Today's subject, men who wear animal suits and the women who love them.
Enough. Enough. Who is responsible for this living educational malfunction?
Charlie Moore.
Do you want that on your head?
Stop worrying, Dr. Samuels. Dennis is going to be terrific.
Excuse me, Mr. Moore. I need your opinion about the show.
Sure. What do you need?
What do you think? With or without the tie?
Without.
Yeah, I think you're right. Besides, it'd clash with my hat.
Dennis, hold on. You're in luck. During lunch hour, I found 1,001 tasteless jokes for any occasion. Could come in handy, eh?
Thanks, Mr. Moore.
Mr. Moore, you're helping him.
It's what teachers are for.
Dennis!
Okay.
Here it is. We are laying it on the line. If you promise not to go in open forum, we will, 1, do all of your homework in our various areas of expertise from now until the end of the school year.
2, any financial obligations you have with us on an individual or collective basis are hereby forgiven.
3, no more derogatory remarks about your glandular condition.
Come again?
No more fat jokes.
Sounds real tempting, girls, but sorry. Go on, go on, go on. Hey, you got it?
Is he beautiful or what?
Perfect!
Now listen, you gotta hurry up because my cousin's waiting outside for me.
Don't
all
worry,
right?
this ain't gonna take long. I'm just gonna go in there for...
Hi, Mr. Moore.
Hi, guys. How are you?
See you.
Good to see you.
Come on, again. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Isn't that better? Come on. Once again, in, out. Keep it going. Dr. Samuels is experiencing a little anxiety.
Over Dennis appearing on open forum, huh?
It's the end of that small pocket of civilization I call the IHP. Mr. Moore, they'll take it away from me.
Dr. Samuels.
Dr. Samuels, Dennis's behavior is normal for the mid-adolescent years. Teenagers assert their individuality by acting in ways that are most at odds with the expectations of authority.
Thank you, Miss Mirror. It helps so much to know that Dennis is supposed to be a jackass.
Dr. Samuels, did you ever think that the Blunden you see is not the Blunden you see?
Mr. Moore, your lights are on, but no one's home.
Dr. Samuels? Meet Dr. Samuels. I named him after you, sir. I thought I'd take him on the show to argue against Whitley's Latin American policies. He's from there, you know.
Dr. Samuels?
Dr. Samuels?
Shut up!
Shut up!
Get out!
Get out!
Get out of my office!
Get out of my office!
Come on, Dr. Samuels. Let's go learn our jokes from Mr. Whitley.
Mr. Whitley.
Nice bit. I'm impressed.
Stop encouraging him! My God, I feel like I'm trapped in a harem over here.
Charlie, I think that you're setting up the patient.
Give it back.
Come on,
Give it back.
breathe in, breathe out. Good.
Hey, Dennis, you got a minute?
Sure.
Yeah, I was just curious about what else you had cooked up for the show.
You're really interested.
Nobody likes a good joke better than I do.
Okay. I thought I'd start with, knock knock.
Who's there?
Khomeini.
Khomeini who?
How many missiles did Reagan sell to Khomeini? Then we do foreign affairs. When I'm old enough, I hope to have one.
But I want to tell you. No, but seriously.
Okay. If he starts in on Star Wars, I counter him with a slightly more traditional weapon. The old pie in the face. What do you think of that?
I love it.
You sure? I mean, I don't want to overdo it. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Oh, you're right.
Mr. Moore, what's the catch?
It's no catch. It is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. If you want to use it to hit Whitley in the face with a pie, I'm all for it. I think if I had the opportunity, though, I'd want to leave him standing there with a little reason and logic dripping off his face.
And you're subtly suggesting I try to do that.
Not at all. I think you should do what you want to do.
Okay. Okay, let's just say for laughs, I decide to take Whitley on. What am I going to say? What would you say to get through to a guy like that?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I'd probably start out by outlining something.
But, Mr. Moore, surely among our rights is the right to fail. In a free society, there are winners and losers. Businesses go bankrupt every day. Should we shed tears?
Now, they don't go bankrupt if they're Chrysler or the Continental Bank. Who bails out the little man?
Government protection for all, Mr. Moore.
Well, if not protection, at least a level playing field. I mean, individual freedom is freedom of opportunity, is it not?
Well, I suppose so.
So, therefore, society is responsible for guaranteeing each of its citizens an equal opportunity to be self-supporting and to live with dignity.
Yes, I think you're right. The changes that you propose would benefit all people.
I think you see my point.
I do, darn it, I do. Mr. Moore, never in the 20 years that this program has been on the air has the liberal viewpoint been explained so succinctly, yet eloquently. How could I have been so blind? I can now at last see that liberalism may, nay, let me go so far as to say, does have a profound and unequivocal value. Because of what you have said here today, I feel compelled to reevaluate all the thinking of my entire career. Mr. Charlie Moore, I surrender. May I shake your hand?
So I think it could be done. I'm not suggesting that you do anything other than what you want to do.
Why not? Why aren't you trying to stop me like everybody else?
Well, let's just say I'm the only one with a sense of humor.
Or maybe you're just trying the old psychological trick where you keep agreeing with me till I come to my senses. Mm-hmm. I'm a little too smart for that, Mr. Moore.
Dennis, I'm agreeing with you because I know you're smart and because I think you know exactly what you're doing.
You do?
Mm-hmm. I think it's about time we let the class in.
Mr. Moore, you can't let him do that. There's no way you can let him on the show.
Everybody, just relax, okay? I'm gonna tell you a little story.
Weezer, the early years?
Yeah, well, I was a senior in high school, and I grew a really ugly beard. Okay? Not a single day went by, but what someone didn't say, Charlie, shave off the beard. I mean, my parents, my teachers, my friends, even my girlfriend. So one day, I come to school and somebody says, Charlie, the beard's gone. How come? It's because yesterday, nobody told me to shave. You got it?
No.
What I don't get is why you guys thought I was such a dope. I mean, do you really think that I would waste a golden opportunity to tell off a guy like Whitley by pulling a bunch of childish pranks?
Well, what would you say, Dennis?
I don't know. Maybe I'd start off by telling them that there's 2.5 million gifted kids in this country. And a lot of them end up dropping out of public schools because they can't get into classes like ours. And why? Because there's not enough money, or at least not for education. Maybe then I'd remind them of something Thomas Jefferson said, that this country's greatness depends on an aristocracy of achievement arising out of a democracy of opportunity.
Got it. Dennis was acting like a clown because we all expected him to act like one.
Dennis, I should have had more faith in you. Sorry, old buddy.
Sorry, Dennis.
Dennis, Mr. Whitley is my personal hero. I guess I was just a little jealous when he picked you instead of me. What I'm trying to say is good luck to you on the show. I'm sure you'll do a fine job, and I'm proud to have you represent the IHP on television.
Alan, I said I didn't want to go on his show, and I meant it. I still don't. Alan, it's yours.
Dennis, that is the greatest, most unselfish thing that anyone has ever done for me.
Well, I guess when it comes to judging people, we all learn something about making assumptions, huh?
And I've learned something special about faith.
Which is?
If you have faith and you hang in there, eventually you get what you want.
Well, at least everything worked out for the best.
Not what I expected. All's well that ends well.
Hello, I'm Lawrence P. Whitley, and this is Open Forum. Today we're addressing the question of what kind of educational programs best serve high-ability students. With us today, Yolanda Stein of Brooklyn Tech, Robert Wu of Oak Hills Academy, and Darlene Merriman of Fillmore High. Alan Pinkard, originally scheduled to represent Fillmore's individualized honors program, will not be appearing today due to an unpropitious attack of measles. I have never had the misfortune of acquiring that malady, and I would prefer to maintain the status quo.
He mentioned my name. How can you not love this guy?
So he loved her and he left her. She had no right to boil his rabbit.
Dennis, come on, it's just a movie.
Hey, Fatal Attraction is more than just a movie. Fatal Attraction is a warning to all men. As of this moment on, I am swearing off women.
Good. Only 16 years after they swore off you.
You telling me that movie didn't freak you out?
Well, you know, it got me thinking a little bit. Maybe I should change my social outlook.
Hi.
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 Listen, I've been thinking. I know you've been a little nervous about going out with me, and I understand that. You know, because I have this reputation as being, well, indiscriminate and insincere. But I want you to know, I've been rethinking my life.
Eric, I've been thinking too, and I've been unfair. You've asked me out, and I've always said no because I've been afraid. But I think that underneath a macho front, you're sensitive and caring. And I realize that in here, you'd never do anything to hurt me. So I'm willing to take a chance on Saturday night.
You're asking me out?
You're right, I'm being too forward.
No. Forward's great. Saturday night. This is great.
Hi, guys. Hi. Hi, Dennis.
Don't hi me. I'm never talking to another woman again as long as I live. I'm serious. Last night, Eric and I saw the scariest movie of all time.
You saw Surf Nazis Must Die?
No, Nimrod. Fatal Attraction.
I thought it was pretty neat.
Neat? A married guy has an innocent affair with a beautiful blonde, and this blonde not only wants the guy's heart, she wants to cut it out with a butcher knife? I hardly find that neat.
Dennis, grow up. It's only a movie.
Really?
Take your seats, please. You know, I saw a movie last night that was not only a movie. Mate One. You know, it was about the labor wars in the West Virginia coal mines in the 1920s. It's really rare that you see a movie that is both so moving and so historically accurate.
Here we go. How film depicts history.
Right. Well, movie makers do distort history a little to boost the box office, don't they? Think about Cleopatra. Elizabeth Taylor, Richard Burton. I mean, was this really a little slice of life on the Nile? Since we know that Emiliano Zapata was not the illiterate peasant that the filmmakers portrayed him as being, then we have to ask ourselves, was the movie Viva Zapata truly fair to the history of the Mexican people?
Well, then I have to ask, was the movie Viva Las Vegas truly fair to Elvis?
Okay, we'll answer that tomorrow. And remember, be sure to choose a film with a historical storyline. Be prepared to discuss it in class.
Oh, Little Big Man. It's playing at a revival theater in the village. Oh, come on, you guys. It's perfect. It shows the Indians as heroes and Custer as a total jerk. You want to go?
Don't be ridiculous. It makes a mockery out of Manifest Destiny.
Jawaharlal?
Well, I can't make it, but thanks. Besides, it's the wrong kind of Indians.
Eric, do you want to see Little Big Man with me tonight?
Tonight?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, sure. I love that movie. Dustin Hoffman and Feathers, right? All right, what time?
8 o'clock at the Waverly. I'll meet you in front, okay?
All right, great.
Are you crazy? You see Fatal Attraction with me last night, and now you're gonna go out with Maria, Miss Looney Tunes?
I'm not going out with her. I finally got a date with Simone. You think I'm gonna mess that up?
Oh, first it's a movie for a homework assignment. Then it's a candlelit dinner for two. Next thing you know, she's kidnapping your daughter.
Dennis, get a life. I'm going to a movie with a classmate. It's not a date. I'm not gonna kiss her. Why did I kiss her?
You kissed her? What are you, crazy?
What can I tell you? I have heat-seeking lips.
I can't believe this.
Look, I have an image to maintain. They expect it.
On the cheek or on the mouth?
Mouth.
Oh, open or closed?
Open, but it was nothing.
You've had it. Now she's gonna start smiling at you in class, and then it's gonna be, oh, Eric, why don't we do our homework together? And then you know what's gonna happen? You're gonna get hit with the 3 R's. Responsibility, regret, and revenge. Well, congratulations, pal. You have just committed suicide.
Hi. I had a really good time last night.
Yeah, it was some movie, huh?
Uh-huh. Oh, I rented the tapes of the other films that we talked about. Little Bighorn, Tonka, They Died with Their Boots On. I thought we could start looking at them today after school.
Today? No, I don't think that today's gonna be good for me.
Well, we could do it tomorrow if you want.
Tomorrow?
Oh, we gotta over two of us.
Are you trying to brush me off?
No.
Good, because I know you wouldn't be that irresponsible.
What if she tells Simone?
What if? It's a sure thing. Count on it.
That could ruin everything.
Yeah.
I mean, Simone means a lot to me. Maria's just... She wouldn't.
Nah, of course not. And the crazy girlfriend in Fatal Attraction didn't show up at the husband's apartment either.
Nah.
Yeah.
Honey, I'm home.
Hi, dear.
Hi, hon. Mwah.
Look who's dropped by. An old school friend.
Hello, Eric.
Maria. Hi.
Oh, why don't you two talk over old times? I'll go check on Erica. Lay out your pajamas.
You kissed me, Eric. Do you think you can get rid of me that easily?
Maria, it was one kiss. It was years ago.
But it's a kiss that will last a lifetime. I love you. Don't you understand?
Maria, you can't love me. I'm happily married.
Well, you should have thought about that before you burned your lips into my soul. I'm yours forever, Eric. Either you tell Simone, or I will.
Look, Maria, I'm not telling her, and neither are you.
Well, then you leave me no choice. I guess I'm gonna have to take more drastic measures.
Look, Maria. I saved Eric's leather jacket from high school.
Oh. Let me touch it. Let me hold it.
Maria? Maria? Maria?
Yes?
Hi.
You just called me.
Yeah, I just want to tell you I'm not gonna be able to watch all those movies with you.
I rented those movies so we could watch them together. You can't just ignore me, Eric. You owe me.
Maybe you're right. Life is imitating the movies.
Just be glad we didn't see the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Okay. Movies Make History, Part 2. I assume you all chose a film. One at a time, please. Sarah?
The Halls of Montezuma. Richard Widmark battles the Japanese, played by the Chinese. I thought I'd compare it to Platoon.
Well, you could compare Platoon to the Green Berets. John Wayne shows us how to win the war in Vietnam without losing his toupee. Darlene?
Birth of a Nation. I'm really intrigued how a movie can be considered a classic when the good guys are the Ku Klux Klan.
That's an interesting point. Do we judge a work of art by its politics? Dennis, what do you got?
Oh, they saved Hitler's brain. Nazis on a Greek island flourish under the leadership of Hitler's still living head. I think this warrants discussion.
Alan?
Patton, of course.
Of course. Simone?
Dr. Zhivago.
The Russian Revolution. Is this a realistic portrayal or Siberian soap opera?
Well, I think it's pretty far off historically, but I couldn't resist the way they show the power of love and faith and trust. I guess I'm just kind of into that now.
Maria?
Oh, Eric and I thought that we'd work together and we'd start with Little Big Man and then compare all the films that depicted Custer.
That sounds like a very challenging project.
Somebody's gonna get scalped.
What's the matter, Eric? Lose your Billy Idol button?
And I think he shorted out his hairdryer.
Oh, the new comedy team, Laurel and Heartless.
Simone. She dumped him again.
I knew she'd never really go out with him.
Women. beasts.
Look, man, I'm in trouble. Maria called my house 5 times last night.
See? Do I know my psychos or do I know my psychos? What'd she say?
I wasn't home. She left messages with my mother, all sounding very urgent. I mean, my mom's used to getting 2 or 3 calls a night, but 5? I mean, I admit it, you're right. She's obsessed with me. Look, man, I gotta tell her to get off my case.
No, you can't do that. We're talking about Maria here. Battery's not included.
What am I gonna do? I gotta talk to somebody. Hey, maybe Mr. Moore can help me.
Hey, wake up, leather boy. Mr. Moore does not want to get involved in your love life. The man's your teacher, not your analyst. I think you have to face the grim reality on this one, Eric. You're all alone in this.
What did you do to this woman?
I kissed her.
You two-bit yuppie Romeos are all alike. I mean, you think you can kiss any woman, any place, and you come running to me, expect me to clean up your mess. I'll tell you something. I don't have time for it, okay? I got problems of my own. You want my advice? Keep your lips to yourself. Get out of here.
But you're the police. You're supposed to help me.
Listen, Buster. Sniffing leather is not a crime. Let's look at what you have. You have a beautiful, trusting wife. You have a lovely home. Is that good enough for you? No. You're gonna throw it all away just to prove you're macho, man. Now get out of here. I'm up to my hips in real homicides.
Hi.
Hi.
Eric, I tried reaching you all last night. I have to talk to you. It's important.
Sure. Well, whatever, Maria. After class, okay? Listen, that's it, man. I've had it. I gotta tell Simone before Maria blows the whistle on me.
Good luck, pal. Wish I was going out there with you.
Okay, if we could take our seats, please. And before we begin the reports, Dennis, I believe you owe me a film.
Fatal Attraction.
No, Dennis.
Now, that's an interesting choice. That is, assuming you can make something of it.
I can. The war between the sexes. Thousands of years of conflict summed up in 90 minutes of terror. Guy shows a little attention to a woman, whammo, she tries to destroy his entire life.
Oh, come on, Dennis. That's completely unfair. That woman was justified in being upset. Look, here you have a married man. He takes advantage of a lonely woman, and when things get a little uncomfortable for him, he just throws her away like old garbage. I mean, how do men think they can get away with such blatant disregard of women's feelings anyway?
Yeah. And that gives her the right to break into their house, kidnap their kid, and boil their bunny?
Well, she got her point across, didn't she?
God, I feel sorry for any guy who ever gets involved with you.
And I thought next week for your birthday, I'd throw this big party. We'll invite 50 of our closest friends.
Honey, wait.
Is 50 not enough?
No, it's fine. There's something I have to tell you.
Is something wrong?
Yes. No, I don't know. It was a harmless little...
What?
I hope you'll understand. I kissed Maria.
No. You what? Oh, no.
I'm sorry.
On the cheek or on the mouth?
No.
Open or closed?
Open, but it meant nothing.
You and Maria must have had a fine laugh on me yesterday when she was visiting, and I left you two alone. Wait, do you smell something?
Yes, I thought you were cooking a brisket. Oh my God! She spoiled my leather jacket.
You mean she's in the house?
Mommy, Daddy, help!
Erica! She's mine! She's my child. She's not yours.
Maria, what are you doing?
If I can't have your lips, at least I can have your baby.
Maria, please. Take him. He's not worth it. I don't care anymore. Just don't steal my baby.
It's too late for deals, hun. You haven't heard the last of me. This is just the beginning.
This is insane! All I did was kiss her!
Oh, I hate you. I hate you. I hate you.
Simone, wait!
Eric, do you mind if I finish my report before you criticize it?
Oh, sure, sorry.
Which may not have been an accurate depiction of any specific event in the Russian Revolution, but it showed the disintegration of the Russian bourgeoisie symbolized by Dr. Zhivago, who I doubt very much looked like Omar Sharif.
Good one.
Very good, Simone. Very good indeed. Eric, you had some problems with this?
No.
Are you having some problems?
I'll say so. He's certainly been acting strange lately.
I've been acting strange lately?
Yes, you've been acting
Mr. Moore, I'm fine, really.
Okay. Call me strange, but I'd like to continue with the class. So, who wants to be next?
Most experts agree that the film In Cold Blood accurately depicted one of the most brutal murders in U.S. history. The blood alone was so...
I thought that you were going to be discussing a cartoon or an American Tale.
Well, I began the report, but then I thought, who really cares about immigrant mice? So I switched to In Cold Blood.
Well, why don't we just pick up there Monday morning, okay?
Bye. Eric, can we talk?
In a minute, I want to talk to Simone first, okay?
No,
Simone,
no, it's really important.
just give me a minute, okay?
No, not okay, Eric. You have to live up to your responsibilities. Don't do something you're gonna regret.
Responsibility and regret, 2 out of 3 R's.
Look, Eric, I want to know what's going on. You've been acting crazy all week and avoiding me.
Okay, I'll tell you why. Because you've been hounding me all week.
Hounding you? What, are you crazy?
All right, what about calling my house 5 times last night?
Yeah.
I just wanted to tell you that Mr. Moore set a deadline for the assignment, and if you weren't gonna do it with me, I'd have to get someone else. Who wants to work with someone so paranoid?
I'm paranoid.
He's paranoid.
You're schizo.
Schizo, you're psycho!
Excuse me, I'm faculty. What is going on?
I can sum it up, Mr. Moore. You saw Fatal Attraction?
Yes?
Welcome to the high school version.
Look, I kissed Maria and she's been obsessing on me ever since.
You kissed Maria?
I was gonna tell you, but Glenn Close over here wouldn't give me a chance. It was nothing.
You're not kidding, it was nothing, Eric. I completely forgot about it.
This was after I said I'd go out with you?
It's not a big deal. She was there. She expected it. I didn't want to disappoint her.
Disappoint me? Eric, to tell you the truth, I didn't even want to kiss you. I just kissed you because you look so pathetic. I felt sorry for you.
You kissed Maria just because she was there?
You're a drowning man.
Next, you'll be telling me you were thinking of me at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Well...
Eric, the very day I say I'll go out with you, you start cheating on me? You're just not ready yet. No.
Well, Mr. Moore, here's my project. Fatal Attraction, How It Divides People. I'll take an A+, thank you very much.
Not so fast. Do you care to put this in a historical context?
Historical?
Context, yeah.
Sure. You got two warring factors.
Thanks. I didn't think so. Look, one of the things that movies do, some of them well, some of them not too well, is show us who we are at a particular point in time. So, Fatal Attraction is not just a thriller. It also reflects our fears about intimacy, AIDS, male-female relationships, perhaps even also a little backlash and anger directed toward the feminist movement.
But I couldn't have said this better myself.
I know.
I can't believe you guys made me out to be some crazy lunatic.
See, one thing that movies really like to do is take the most vivid aspect of a contemporary problem and then manipulate it, in this case, to frighten us. So we all have fun being frightened. Movie makers have fun selling us those tickets. Now, it's good that we pay attention to what the movie's trying to say, but I think it's really important that we not confuse the movie with real life.
I'm sorry, Maria.
It's okay.
False alarm. Well, I think the important thing is we all learned a little something about ourselves.
No. Someone's got to pay for this, Dennis.
Oh, yeah, you see, I knew it. The third R, here it is, revenge.
I think she means reimburse.
Exactly. For the tapes. They're over $16.
Take care of it, Dennis.
Why me?
Because you started this whole thing.
I'm not paying.
I think you'd better.
Because if you don't, I'll boil your bunny.
Mr. Moore, I understand you and the IHP had an interesting lesson today on the topic of movies.
Yes, it was quite successful.
Did you happen to discuss my favorite movie?
Hello, Dolly?
My Dinner with Andre.
Really? You surprised me.
You know what I liked about that movie? It had no story. No heavy plot, no female involvement, just two lonely guys discussing life over dinner.
Yeah, well, maybe we could talk about this some other time.
Well, why not now while it's fresh on our minds? Come on, I'll take you to dinner.
Well, you know, I had some bad popcorn last week.
Come on. I'll pay for it. Come on.
After you, my dear.
Why, thank you, darling.
May I help you to your seat, Mrs. Engen?
Must have been quite a weekend.
We start our 2-week marriage and family class today. We had to stop at the office and get our reading list and our course outline.
And we got a peek at the list of our assigned spouses.
Right, for our trial marriages, we have to do budgets, plan meals, do household chores.
And there's stuff for the men to do, too.
Eric.
Sorry.
Well, I know you two are linked for life. What about the rest of you? Who is hitched to whom?
I'm very proud that Sarah has been assigned to be my wife.
I couldn't have asked for a more agreeable, well-mannered, considerate husband.
I can't believe my luck. I am Mr. Darlene.
I can't believe I'm married to a guy that dresses like a chemical spill.
Maria?
I'm stuck with Alan.
Hey, this is no bowl of kumquats for me either, you know.
Well, some marriages are made in heaven. This one was made in a classroom. Dennis?
This whole assignment is a farce. I mean, come on. Marriage is just an institution of the state created to produce work units. I mean, personally, I'm opposed to the way that it reduces women to the subservient roles of reproductive and domestic slaves. Morally and ethically, I don't even think I can participate in the assignment.
Dennis, tuck in your shirt.
Make me.
I take it that's the little woman.
Yeah.
Well, good luck. No marriage, not even a trial one, is easy.
Is that based on your marriage, Mr. Moore?
Well, I didn't have the chance to practice the way you do. I mean, marriage is difficult.
It's just a problem to be solved like any other.
There is more to it than that. marriage is like the Foreign Legion. If you haven't been in it, you'll never know what it's like. So, when President Carter decided that, we... see you tomorrow.
Oh, hi. Hey. Hi, Charlie.
Hi.
Well, I suppose you heard.
Heard about what?
The new IHP class.
The one about marriage, yeah. You can't teach marriage. I mean, that is like trying to learn how to play the trumpet by mail. You know, whose crazy idea was this class, anyway?
Mine.
Well, pardon me while I extract this foot from my mouth.
Charlie, I happen to have extensive training in marriage and family counseling.
Well, I happen to believe that this is an area that requires a little first-hand knowledge.
Well, pardon me for saying so, but I think that no marriage is better than one that didn't work.
Well, pardon me for saying so, but I think it's a mistake to teach a course in marriage from a naive and unrealistic point of view.
Better than bitter, angry, and disillusioned.
I don't think I ever said my marriage was like that.
Oh, you broke up because you were too happy?
Look, Bernadette, two people at the same time are going in the opposite direction. The only place they're going to meet is in a divorce court. And this is supposed to be my free period, so I do need to finish grading these tests.
Oh, gee, Charlie, you know, I think you'd be a lot more comfortable in the teacher's lounge.
Why?
Because this is where I'm teaching my class.
Delicious sort of irony at work here. I am being evicted by the newlywed game.
Hi there.
It's impossible to have a life on this budget.
Darlene, it's an imaginary budget.
Right. I can't imagine living on it.
Obviously. You know, I didn't even know you could use Perrier in a steam iron. Look, here's an idea that's going to save us a lot of money.
What's this?
Coupons. Look at this. 10 cents off on Does, 15 cents off on pot pies, and 25 cents off on odor eaters.
Morning, everyone.
Morning. Mr. Moore, did you have problems with money?
Doesn't everybody?
No, I mean when you were married.
Well, on what an off Broadway actor made back then, there were a lot of things we couldn't afford. We worked it out.
I bet your wife didn't spend 90% of your budget on food. I don't have a husband. I have a vacuum cleaner with teeth.
Well, I got a wife who skips to the market.
Well, at least I'm getting some exercise.
Excuse me. So, if we could start talking about the NATO alliance. Remember it?
Compromise is so important in a marriage, and we're going to start talking about compromise in our schedules now, okay?
Sarah and I don't need to compromise.
That's right. We don't need to compromise.
We agree on everything.
Okay. Alan and Maria, why don't we hear your weekly schedule?
Okay, oh, I think ours is pretty good.
Monday, 7 a.m. Alan at Harvard Club for power breakfast. Maria cleans house, gets Lincoln Town car waxed, picks up cleaning, washes the dog.
Wait a minute. Where did that all come from? I didn't agree to any of that.
I did a few revisions.
I'm your wife. I'm not your slave.
This is good. This is good. They're airing their disagreements. But next time you might try planning your schedule together and then try following it, all right?
Excuse me, my attendance book.
No, it's okay. Why don't you join us? You might find it illuminating. Janice, Dennis, how's yours coming?
We don't have a schedule.
Our schedule is perfect, and we are not changing it. Monday.
Don't read that out loud.
Monday, up at 6 a.m. Dennis jogs to the gym. I follow on my bicycle.
You wake me up at 6 a.m., you'll be following me in a hearse.
It sounds like you two also need to try a little compromise. Eric and Simone?
Weekdays are okay. Weekends, no.
The weekend's family time. Friday nights we have dinner with my folks and play charades. Saturday's the family symphony tickets, and Sunday we read aloud at Grammy's house. This week it's Jane Austen.
And while Simone's doing that, I'll be at Izzy's.
Being with my family is very important to me.
And being with my pool cue is very important to me.
You're supposed to be married.
I'm not supposed to be dead.
Well, we've had a very nice head start here on our scheduling, and as you can see, it's not all fun and games after the honeymoon. So for tomorrow, if you could please bring in your revised schedules. Yes, thank you.
All right. Maria, I want to talk to you.
Oh, Charlie, what do you think?
Well, I've been thinking about several things I said to you yesterday, and I thought I should apologize.
Oh.
But I don't think I'm going to. Your class bears no relationship to reality.
Oh, Charlie, tell me, oh, Swami, what is reality?
Reality is 1 out of every 2 marriages ends in divorce.
Oh, well, probably because they haven't taken my class.
Bernadette, really, you know, teaching the kids schedules and budgets may help them get a job in a bus station somewhere, but I don't think it's going to prepare them for marriage.
Oh, what would you teach them, Charlie?
Well, what about love? I mean, what about 2 people growing mutually interdependent? And there are larger commitments, like having kids.
Oh, I'm going to get to kids.
Oh, you're going to teach them about kids?
Yeah, I'm going to teach them about kids.
How are you going to teach them
You
about
want to know
kids?
how I'm going to teach
Yes,
them about
I
kids?
wanna know.
Well, I'm not going to tell you.
I knew it.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning, sir.
Well, what have we here?
We're parents.
Meet little Egbert. Can you hear me, sweetheart?
Isn't it great? Have a cigar.
Well, thank you. Cuban chocolate, my favorite. So, she gave you these eggs for babies?
Uh-huh. Each couple's assigned an egg to take care of during our trial marriage.
Yep, a real egg with a real baby chicken inside. And they're almost ready to hatch.
We have to keep them in these incubators.
One member of the couple is to be with the egg at all times.
Well, an egg is hardly a substitute for a real live human baby.
You'd be surprised. We have nighttime feedings. Everybody's to get up every 3 hours and turn the egg. And just to make it real, warm up a bottle of formula.
And you're actually going to do this?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Janice, that reminds me. Excuse me, Mr. Moore. Sweetheart, I was wondering if you could take care of our kid, our egg child, tonight. I got something important to do.
No, Dennis. The whole point of the assignment...
Yeah, sacrifice. I'm aware of that. But we're talking about a future chicken versus the last night of the Star Trek convention.
A Trekkie convention? Why can't you people get a life?
Janice, this is important. Lieutenant Uhura is the speaker.
No, it is your turn. The subject is closed.
Excuse me.
Excuse me, Mr. Moore, I just told you...
Excuse me, Miss Mira. I was just curious to see how my little IH peers were doing as parents.
Well, you can't actually call them parents. Perhaps farmers.
This farmer's not too happy. I do not have time to babysit a future omelet. I have an important meeting to attend tonight.
At a Star Trek convention.
Dennis, you're a married man and a father. It's time to switch from Mr. Spock to Dr. Spock.
That's right, Blunden. Maybe this will teach you a little responsibility. How do you expect to be a role model to your egg?
He already is. Humpty Dumpty.
That's really great. You want to ruin my life? Go ahead. Fine. I don't care.
See, I like this. This is what marriage is all about. Ruining your life.
No, it's not.
Well, I think they're learning something from this assignment, don't you?
Eric, that's not what marriage is all about.
What happened to your marriage, Mr. Moore?
Yeah, what happened?
Well, what happened in my marriage was personal.
Let's not argue in front of the children.
Right. We wouldn't want to ruffle any feathers before they hatched. That's right.
Okay. I realize what we have here is a conflict between a man whose wife obviously dumped him and a lonely spinster.
Excuse me,
Yeah. The point is, regardless of how this thing started, I want it stopped. Miss Mira is teaching her marriage class, and I want no further interference from you. Capiche?
If they will keep their marital squabbles and their grade A large offspring out of my history class, I'll try to overlook this foolishness temporarily.
Well, I accept that. Grudgingly.
Fine. Now can we all get back to work? Enthusiastically, huh?
Eric, I'm in a lot of trouble, man.
What? Your mother changed the lock on the refrigerator?
Last night I took our egg to the Star Trek convention, and I don't know how, but I lost it.
Well, maybe your egg is gone where no egg has gone before. Well, what's that?
I had to buy a new egg from the poultry store this morning. I borrowed this incubator from the science lab.
Yeah, so why tell me?
I need an alibi. In case our kid doesn't hatch, I need you to swear that you were with me and my kid last night for a father and egg kind of an evening.
I was gonna ask you to be my alibi.
Perfect.
Great.
Okay. Well,
where were we?
Wow, look at this! 20 cents off on industrial strength bleach.
Arvid, you woke me up to tell me that?
Well, I like my whites as white as they can be.
Come on now, Darlene. Staying up with the egg is part of our new lifestyle.
My lifestyle with Arvid is missing two things. Life and style.
Arvid, what is that you're taking?
Joluments.
Don't you mean Gelusil, Arvid?
These do the same job for 10 cents less.
Staying up with the egg gives you such a wonderful sense of accomplishment. And you know, last night, I could hear the egg scratching on the inside of the shell.
And then when the egg falls back to sleep, you have that quiet time on the phone with your spouse, talking about the surprises the next day holds.
Oh, shut up.
I'm just glad tomorrow's the last day. I couldn't spend another day with Chicken Little.
Oh, well, maybe you should have married Eric. Last night was his turn and he wasn't there.
Hey, I left a note.
Later?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. I was up all night burping our egg.
Why doesn't it just hatch already? God, I hate being pregnant.
Okay, I'd like to start today on the farm labor movement.
Excuse me, Mr. Moore. Can we speak?
Excuse me.
I've been thinking, Charlie, this is so silly. I mean, we're friends, so we had a disagreement. I think we can get over it, huh?
No, you're right.
Well, good. And if you really want to know, I understand.
You understand what?
Well, last night, I talked all about you in my psychology class.
You talked about me? Why?
Well, it came up, and we all agreed that your intentions are probably good, but that you're projecting the hostility that you still carry with you from the unresolved conflict of your divorce that you haven't fully worked through. And Charlie, I forgive you.
Bernadette, I'm over my divorce.
Charlie, it's okay. You do not have to deny those inner feelings.
Could we drop the psychobabble for just a moment?
Charlie, this isn't psychobabble.
No, it is.
No, it is not.
Please. Look, I'm willing to admit that a marriage and family course could be valuable.
No, thank you.
If the approach was different.
Oh? Do you happen to have an approach in mind?
Yes and no.
Well, Charlie, if you have something useful to say to my students, by all means say it. And if not, I don't know how to put this tactfully, but put an egg in your shoe and beat it.
They're getting close. I see 2 beaks.
Okay, come on. Let's finish this up. Eric and Simone, how did your marriage work out?
Well, our marriage started out great, but then it hit the rocks.
And went down from there.
But, you know, we talked about it and we tried to isolate our biggest problem.
family.
See, Simone's got a big one, and I'm not used to having any. I also didn't like the idea of sitting around reading Jane Austen on Sunday nights.
Well, what would you do?
Well, if I loved the woman, I guess I'd go and say I had a great time.
But then afterwards we'd go to Izzy's and play pool. I'd probably like it.
It's pretty good. Dennis?
What?
How would you categorize your marriage?
Hell. She tried to make me over. All she kept talking about was clothes and diet and exercise. If I'd wanted that, I would have married Richard Simmons.
So you're saying that your marriage didn't work?
The only good thing that came out of this marriage was a little chicken I get to raise.
Darlene, Arvid?
Well, I'll say this for Arvid. He may be cheap, but he never lost his temper. I don't know how he keeps his composure.
Arvid?
Well, Miss Muir, let me put it this way. This is a note from my doctor. Please excuse Arvid from being married to Darlene. She's giving him an ulcer.
It's more than he ever gave me.
Oh, I guess we don't have to ask how Gerard Halal and Sarah did.
Well, he certainly was nice.
She was pleasant.
Uh-huh, he was considerate.
She was gracious.
We had no arguments, no disagreements, no fights.
No egos, no traumas.
No sparks.
No excitement.
It was like being trapped in a greeting card.
I guess our relationship works better as friends.
Well, at least you learned what doesn't work for you. Hmm? And finally, Alan and Maria.
You mean oil and water?
Yeah, I'm surprised it lasted this long.
It was terrible.
It was awful.
All we did was fight.
Like cats and dogs.
But I must admit, she put up a good fight. She even won a few.
A few?
Okay, maybe half. I never figured a woman could be such a worthy adversary.
I never thought that underneath his dumb male chauvinist front. Alan actually has an open mind.
Strange as it seems, it was kind of fun. I think we were happy.
Yeah. I think we were too.
Let's call that a success.
Miss Muir?
Mr. Moore?
Listen, I know I've been quite critical of your class, and in many ways I still am. But in thinking it over, I also realize that instead of taking pot shots, maybe I should try to help out. Well, if knowing what happened to my marriage is still of any interest.
Yeah,
yes,
sure
of course.
it is.
Sometimes things come up in a marriage that you just can't work out, no matter how much you love someone.
Like what?
Like children. I wanted them, she didn't. She didn't think it was the right time. I kept trying to explain that it would never be exactly the right time. The next thing I knew, we had separated, and I guess it just took.
But didn't you love each other?
Very much. But sometimes that is not enough. We married very young, and each of us believed that the other was immature. I accused her of being in secret training for suburbia. And she accused me. Looking back, we had a lot of silly arguments.
You ever hear from her?
Yeah. She's married to an orthodontist in Scarsdale. She has 4 kids with great teeth. I have 10 with great minds.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Hey, look, my egg is hatched!
Oh, mine too! Mine too! Mine too!
Look at them.
Oh, mine too! Hi!
Look at them.
Janice, Dennis, where's yours?
Our child is a duck?
It's a miracle! He's got an extra XY chromosome. I don't know. Why is that? Maria, where's our answer?
Let's let him out.
Cheap, 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 cheap.
Oh, isn't that sweet? He already knows your name.
Dennis, we have to find that egg.
I know.
Excuse me.
My name is Nichelle Nichols.
How do you do? My name is Charlie Moore.
How do you do? I think this might belong to someone in your class.
Lieutenant Uhura!
Could this be yours? It was left at the convention. At first, I thought it was a Klingon's breakfast. But then I saw it said Fillmore High School.
Don't touch that!
Hey, listen, think you could beam her up?
Oh. Scotty, come in, please.